Welcome in, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tater Tot. Thanks, James. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Deborah. Those are so cute. Kara, I spent the day buying at the car place, getting a new battery for my car. So it wasn't very fun. But thanks for being here, guys. Hi, Kosha. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. How's everybody's weekend? Hey, Justin. Did that guy say something? Because if you go back and look at the comment you said to him, it looks like I think he misunderstood you, and it looks like you said you're not welcome in. He had like a typo, and I think that's what he was responding to. Because he's a follower. And if you look where you welcomed him in, it says you are not welcome in. I don't know why it says that, but yeah, you might want to unblock him and let him know what happened. I think he was thought you told him he wasn't welcome in here, so you might want to let him know what happened. Just tell him, my bad. I think you pasted two messages together. Possibly, but it kicks him out, so you might have to message him. Because once he's blocked, he's kicked out of here, so you might want to message him and just tell him what happened. It was just miscommunication. I saw it happening, and I was like, uh-oh. Thank you, guys. Oh, it's okay. Miscommunications happen all the time, but it's one of those things, It happens. Plus, Justin's greeting everybody, and I think he just copied and pasted it into another message he was already trying to type or something. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. And thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. Appreciate it. You guys are so sweet. Cassie, thank you for the poetry score. Kim, you're so cute. I love you. Yes, Lonnie, exactly. Thank you, Jima. All right, guys, feel free to write your story requests in all capital letters in the chat. And I'll write them down, and then we'll vote on the first story. I also thank you to those of you who made it to the premiere of the new story of the week tonight live on my YT channel at 7. And if you weren't there, don't worry. I will read the new story sometime around midnight. So just clarify. And if people come and ask if they've missed the new story, etc., feel free to help answer and tell them that I will be reading it around midnight. And thanks. Feel free to write your requests in. Oh, it's okay, Justin. Don't be sorry. It happens. Happens to the best of us. Thank you, Dave, for all the roses. And Flying, thanks for the Sparks cake. All right, you guys, I will set up the first poll so we can vote on the first story. And I'll be right back. And if you guys could do me a big favor while I'm setting up the first poll, if you could hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Sharing share stories and with your friends helps too. And thank you for tapping. I'll be right back with the first poll. Happy Monday. Thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. Thank you, Mamasaurus. Yes, thank you, Iacona. Thanks, Rabbit Hole. By the way, I tried to answer your phone call, but by the time I got to the ring, you weren't there anymore. Kentucky Farmer, I write all of my stories, but they're all based off of real folklore and actually reported encounters. Thank you for the seahorse, Deborah. Seahorses, I love them. All right, you guys, the first poll is ready. We have the Haint of Huggy Molly. The Winding Road, the names in the logbook, the Chupacabra, and the Goat Man. Who's it gonna be? You can vote in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box, and you can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. Thank you for the cake, Pixie. Thank you, Rich, for the cozy cryptids. Michael, thank you for the cake. That's so cute. Who's it gonna be, guys? Thank you, Michael. Good night, Rabbit Hole. Get some rest. I hope you guys feel better. Which story's gonna win? Kim, you're so cute. I love you. By the way, you guys, I have an announcement. On my birthday, the Miami, I'm not even kidding you guys. This is like fate, okay? My friend Jamie, who comes in here all the time, you know Jamie, she lives in Miami. She messaged me, and the Miami Zoo introduced a new baby capybara today. And guess what its name is? Fucking Gouda. Gouda. Gouda, a baby capybara on my birthday named Gouda? Stop it. Is this real life? Was that for me? Was that a wink from the universe? Because what? Gouda? Of all the names in the world. Of all the names in the world. I feel like that's the universe being like, you got this, Devin. Because that's crazy. Jamie's like, holy shit. And it says, meet one of the Zoo Miami's newest animal ambassadors, Gouda, the capybara. Stop it. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Yeah. Yes, it is. I feel like that's not enough. Yeah. Like, and you guys already know my history with Gouda and capybaras, which makes it even funnier because I don't even have to like explain it to you guys. Like, you guys all are like, holy shit, no way. I'm 777 today. But I've been told I don't look a day over 600. Oh, okay, Justin, then forget it. Then forget him. All right, and the winner is The Winding Road. I'll be right back. Thank you. What are they talking about? All right, so the winner of the poll is The Winding Road. And I'll be right back with that story. And if you guys could do me a big favor and hit that share arrow in the right-hand corner. There's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. Hi, Robin. Gouda's my favorite cheese, Susie. I got detained at customs once for trying to bring a wheel of cumin flavored Gouda cheese. And I didn't know I couldn't. And then I was kind of ridiculous about what proceeded after they pulled me aside and told me I couldn't have my cheese. Viola, I have no idea. That's so weird. It doesn't even make any sense. And that happened to me for a while too. I didn't have the story button for no reason for a while. Yeah. Well, they told me they were going to take my cheese away, and then I proceeded to bite into the red wax that it was covered in, take that out, spit it, and then chomp into the cheese, like as much as my mouth could fit. And then the guys in the back room with me were laughing. They were like, they thought it was funny. And I was like, dude, I can't not have a bite of it. I'm not just gonna let you throw it in the trash. Like, I at least have to get a bite of it, dude. Yep, they took my cheese. It was worth it. Oh, you did, Rachel? Where? On my DMs? It was worth it. And what's funny is I was traveling with my boyfriend at the time, and he was British, and obviously he's like British and very reserved, and I'm wild American. Like, we were definitely that like stereotypical duo. And when they told me, ma'am, you're gonna have to oh really, Rachel? Oh my god, you're so sweet. I'll check it. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. When they were like, ma'am, we're gonna have to have you come with us, he looks at me and he mouths, what did you do? I'll never forget his face. He looked so worried. He's like, what did you do? Like, he couldn't even think of, there could be a million things I could have done. You know what I mean? He was like, oh no, what did she do? And I was like, I don't know. And I thought it was because I had gotten like a glass piece of a glass paraphernalia piece in Amsterdam that was an octopus. And I thought maybe it was that. And I was like, oh shit, paraphernalia. And it was the cheese. So there's that. Anyway, so the fact that my favorite animal was introduced to the Miami Zoo today, named Gouda, is just really, on my birthday, is just kind of funny. Kind of funny. Anyway, I'll be right back with the tale of the winding road. Happy Monday. Welcome to the porch. Thank you, Charlotte. Hi, Carrie. No, it's not actually Kim. This story just never ever gets requested. Thank you, guys. Hey, Leslie, by the way, I watched 2 of the movies you recommended. I haven't finished the other one, but I watched Tribute. Yeah, now it's been requested, exactly. Thanks, Deborah. Yeah, I did. It made me sad though because immediately I could tell I could just tell by the way she looked and just I don't know, I could just read it in her energy. I know that sounds weird, but that she was really sick there. And I looked it up and she died like 4 months later, which is crazy. And that made me really sad because I could feel I was like she's super sick in this movie. But it was still a good movie. But I could tell she was sick. And like I think they shot it in May and I think she died in like December or something. I know. We're talking about Brittany Murphy, by the way, guys. Yeah. The movie's called Tribute with Brittany Murphy and the hot dude from Sex and the City. Check out Leslie. I'm going to pin her. Leslie does really cool series of like movies you might have missed when you were out partying. And by God, she's right. I have missed every movie she's recommended. I sure shit had not seen. And it came out in like the 2000s when I was definitely not sitting at home watching it. And they're good. They're like, a lot of them are like Southern Gothic. And I'm also halfway through the Bayou one, Leslie. But they both take place in like the South and they're really good. So follow Leslie for more great movie recommendations because I've already watched 2. Yeah, and that's what she says. I didn't make it up. Leslie did. She goes, I don't know how I missed all these, but I was probably out partying and so were you. So let's check them out. She's so cute. You have to check out her series. Rachel, check out her page and she goes through the Bayou. She goes through all of them. Really, CJ? Trump hit hard like Kimbo Slice, CJ? Thanks, Darren. All right, guys, quick swig and I'll be right back. I'll pin her again. We sure were up in the club. I was really up in the club. I lived in the club. Thank you, Dave. Dave's had the worst luck with the typing tonight. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the winding road. I don't tell this story often. It's not one of those things you casually bring up at a dinner party or joke about over drinks. The kind of fear I felt that night, it's not the kind that fades with time. It lingers. It changes the way you move through the world. I was 26 when it happened, working as a freelance photographer and spending a lot of my time alone on the road. Thank you, Angie. I just finished a job in Montana, and I was heading to Washington for another. Instead of taking the interstate, I decided to take the scenic route. I love back roads. Small winding roads through the dense, towering forests of the Pacific Northwest. It was October and the air had that sharp pre-winter bite. The leaves were crisp. The colors just past their peak. And I had the kind of quiet that only long stretches of isolated highway can give you. The drive stretched longer than I'd expected. My GPS had lost service miles back, and I had underestimated how remote this area really was. I should have turned back then, but there was something about the road ahead. The untouched wilderness that felt like an adventure. Thank you, Mama Saurus. That was before I realized how alone I actually was. Hi, CJ. The first sign of trouble was the gas gauge. I had half a tank when I left the last town, but the miles had disappeared faster than I realized. When the warning light came on, I cursed at myself for not getting gas. I pulled over to check my phone, but I had no service. These back roads had nothing. There was no way for me to tell where the nearest gas station even was. I told myself I'd find one soon if I just kept driving. Love you, Kim. The road narrowed into a single lane flanked by thick forest on either side. The trees were ancient, tall, gnarled things with trunks the size of cars. Their branches tangled overhead, blocking out most of the late afternoon light. It felt like stepping into another world. And then I saw it. A house. Not a town, not a gas station, just a single rotting structure. A wooden thing with paint peeling. The windows were gaping black holes. There were no lights. No signs of life, but a rusted old truck that sat in the dirt driveway, tires half deflated. I slowed down. debating whether to stop and ask for help, but something about the place made my skin crawl, so I just kept driving. Aw, thanks, Viola. Thanks for being a super fan. Leo, I think you misunderstand witches quite a bit. You're in a life full of one, honey. Minutes passed, the trees thickened, and the road narrowed further. And then I saw another house, identical to the first. Same sagging roof, same empty windows, same rusted out truck. I thought maybe I was imagining things. Maybe I was just tired and that my mind was playing tricks on me. But when I saw the third house, I slammed on my brakes. Yep, kudzu, Rachel. It was the same house. Not just similar, the same. Same broken shutters, same tire tracks, same truck. How was I driving in circles? My stomach dropped when I checked my phone and there was still no signal. I tried to tell myself there had to be a logical explanation. I wasn't lost. I felt like I was trapped. I threw the car into reverse, tires spitting gravel as I backed up, trying to retrace my route. The road should have been straight, but it curved where it shouldn't have, and it twisted back into itself or something. I felt like it was shifting behind me. And then I saw it. Not the house, and not the road, something standing in the trees. Its skin, if that's what it was the color of the bark behind it, making it blend in like a predator waiting to strike. I stopped breathing and my hands went numb. It was watching me. My headlights caught just enough to see its face, or what should have been a face. It was smooth and featureless, except for 2 black slits where eyes should be. And then it moved. Not like a person, not like anything I've ever seen. 1 second it was near the tree, and the next it was way too close to my car. Its body contorting like a marionette, with its strings pulled too tight. I hit the gas. The car lurched forward, skidding on the loose gravel, but I didn't care. I drove like a bat out of hell, my heart slamming. The road twisted and turned impossibly, and I didn't dare stop. Not until I saw the gas station lights flickering in the distance. I don't even remember pulling in. I don't remember turning off the car. But I do remember the old man behind the counter staring at me like he knew. Like he'd seen it before too. He didn't even ask me what was wrong. He just pointed to a map on the wall, traced a path with his finger, and said, "Take this road, and don't you dare turn back." I did as he said, and I never looked back. I don't know what I saw that night, and I don't know what happened to me. But I do know one thing. From now on, I will be sure to keep a full tank of gas. And that's the tale of the winding road. Hi, Angela. Yay, Angela. Robin, because no one ever requests it, and no one looks at the story list on Discord to request stories that they haven't heard before. That's why. Except for Eric. Eric, who requested that one tonight? There's Eric and Lady Rose. Pull out some ones that nobody ever asks for. And who else? There's a couple people that do. Yeah, it's on YT. And thank you. Thank you. It doesn't have the same picture though, because it's one of the old stories. And those I couldn't, some of them I couldn't get like a good screen grab of the image because they were videos. But now I do it differently. What, Jamie? Mamasaurus, they're also all on my YT channel. But there's the Discord's the best way to go because it gets updated. Lovely updates it every week with the new story. Because she's amazing. Yeah, that's kind of what the silly story title Saturday and Sundays are. I always throw in a bunch of the ones that never get voted for or requested. Because if they have different titles, I feel like you guys might vote for them. And you do. It works. Oh, the stories you asked for. Awesome, Jamie. I love that so much. Thank you, Jamie. I don't write down who asks for what. So I don't remember which ones you asked for, but yeah, that's the point. Yeah, they're supposed to confuse you. You're not supposed to know what story it is so that people vote for stuff that never wins. Oh yeah, Jamie. Okay, cool. That's already on the list. All right, welcome in everybody. My name is Devin and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. Thank you, rapping. I appreciate it. That's what I go for. I really appreciate that. I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, Cassie, I forgot again. Damn it. I actually pulled it up to do it and then I completely forgot. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll be sure to have it done by tomorrow night. Because you're not the only one asking for it. Like a couple people have asked for it, so I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, yum, Wilkins. Thank you, Eric, for the fireworks. Thanks for helping me with my gallery. Aw, thanks, Queen Cece. Nice to see you. Yeah, Rachel, I guess a lot of people have. I never have. I know, I can't believe Capybara Gouda either. I really can't. Yes, Crown Royal, I premiere a new story every single Monday. Rich, you must have no idea what the new story is about, huh? Way to go, Darren. I'm just kidding. Yep, it's located in Washington, D.C. Yep, my story tells all about it. I'm just saying you wouldn't be requesting Reeves vampires if you knew what the topic was for the new story tonight. All right, you guys, I'm going to set up the next poll. And yes, I do. I have a YT channel. If you look at the banner on the screen, it's that right there. Porch Lore. Like the square that says these stories and more. It's the same name. Good night, Ellie. Thank you. I hope you have sweet dreams. Get some rest. Thanks for coming. See you tomorrow. Hi, Tara. How you been? Long time no see. We missed you. We missed you. Oh my god, really, Yaya? Congratulations. That's so cool. I love that. Congrats. I can't wait to see it, Yaya. All right, guys, I'm setting up the next poll. If you could just, oh, thank you, Cassie. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm setting up the next poll. If you guys could do me a favor and hit that share arrow. In the bottom right-hand corner, there is a little yellow circle that says repost, and that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. And I'll be right back with the next poll. Happy Monday. All right, you guys, the next poll is ready. Oh, good job, Rich. Can't wait to see it. Thank you, oh so very ordinary. Hi, Twana. Hi, Julie. Hi, Possum. All right, you guys, the next poll is ready. And we have the Haint of Hug and Molly. We have Haint Blue. We have Water Babies. We have the Camper Van. And we have Poplar Creek. And you can vote in the blue box in the top left-hand corner. You can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. We have the Haint of Hug and Molly. We have Haint Blue. We have the Water Babies, the Camper Van, and Poplar Creek. Who's it gonna be? In the top left-hand corner, the blue box. Oh, thanks, Yaya. Thank you, Maureen. I love that gift. And the winner is the Camper Van. Yeah, it is bad. Shut your mouth. Terrible idea, yeah. Terrible idea. Thank you, Kelsey. That's weird, Twana. Why? Thank you, Jessica. Thank you for the birthday wishes, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's so weird, Twana. Maybe she has a mod that went rogue. Thank you for the cake, Izzy. Deborah, thank you for the cute accordion. Rochelle, I am. Technically, I am. But I did what Queen Elizabeth did, and I changed my birthday. Because I don't like having my birthday on Thanksgiving. Twana, thank you so much. You're so sweet. So it's July 27th instead of November 27th. Yeah, I didn't celebrate it this year. And I just told everyone I was going to do it in July. But then my car battery died and I spent the day at the car dealership. So there was really literally no point in doing that. So whatever. So Jay, you get it. It's the worst week to have a birthday. I don't care what anybody says. It's when the sun finally starts to go down at 4 o'clock, right at the end of November. It's the beginning of the holidays. So everybody is frantic and everybody forgets every single year and no one's around or they're all with family commitments and it's cold and sleety. It's just the worst. The worst. So it's the worst. And I got really sick of it this year. And I said, you know what? I'm not fucking celebrating. I'm moving my birthday to the summer. And so then I was going to do it in July. And then my friend was amazing, bought me a plane ticket to surprise me, to fly me out to Tahoe to see her. And then she booked a movie. And we had to reschedule to next month. So that leaves me with like, is my fake birthday today or is I moving it to August 27th? I don't fucking know. So basically I'm just destined to not have a very good birthday and that's okay. I've accepted it today. After I spent half the day getting a new battery put in my car, I was like, you know, I think that's just that. Yeah, it's the worst. Thanks, Wilkins. Oh, really, Rochelle? I love that. Lovely. Yeah. Thanks, Leslie. That's okay. Yeah, I love you. You're so cute. Because that's going to be my gifts for everyone this year, too. Because I have the same problem you have. And I'm like, dude, I really need to. But I have had a couple amazing birthdays in my life. I will say that. I've had 2 that were really, really, really great. And they were actually both when I lived in LA and nobody gave a shit about Thanksgiving. So, yeah. Yeah, that sucks too, JK, for sure. Me neither. I never had a sweet 16. I never really had any of them. And like Thanksgiving's the holiday where no one has cake. It's always pie. So I like used to not get birthday cakes. I did when I was really little. But then there was like a span of I don't know, 20 years where I fucking didn't get like who wants to have to ask for, like, you know what I mean? Like who wants to have to be like, hey. So then one year I was like bratty about it, and then everybody's like felt bad, and then they got me one and it didn't feel good either because I was like, I fucking had to ask for it, dude. So you know, it's always just been not that great. Zingers, right, Eric? I'll make my own, right? Succulents are so cute though. You always can need those. You can always need those. Yeah, there's so much pie, Sabrina, exactly. There's nobody wants cake. Like, how often do you guys see a cake at Thanksgiving, you know? But anyway, thanks, Julie. I appreciate you. And either way, I'm really excited to see my friends in Tahoe, regardless of whether it's a birthday or not. Thanks, Leslie. JK, yeah. Wouldn't that be funny? If I got a ton of cakes this year. Bunch of cakes show up in November. All right, guys, quick swig, and I'll be right back with the camper van. Oh no, Rochelle, what part? Did the glass break or the ring? Oh, the band. Damn. Did it get caught on something? Because I almost broke one that way. Michelle, if you're just here for the story, then you can go to my YT channel and listen to them by yourself over there. Girl, I can't see your new screen name at all. It hides. It's all lowercase. You gotta make that shit more visible. Your old screen name was so much more visible. The chat flies and I can't see you, Solange. Hey, boo-boo. I love you. Yeah, Rachel, it's ridiculous. That's why I don't care saying shit. It's like, are you fucking serious? And she doesn't even follow me. Like, you can't even give me a follow and you're trying to boss me around in my own live? Get the hell out. Get out of here. Go on, get. Go sell some houses. Well, and I was literally just talking about my birthday. So what kind of a rude ass person is like, I'm just here for the stories. Shut up about your birthday. I mean, seriously? And we make it very clear that you can listen to them on your own over on the YT, and you don't have to listen to the chit chat. But Yeah, one more smartass comment. One more smartass comment. Thank you, Jessica. You're so sweet. Thank you, Morris. Bye, bitch. She's blocked now. Exactly, Voodoo Daddy. And that's like literally the point of the live. If I was here to just crank out stories, you guys could literally just listen to my YT playlist. That's the whole point. And I will not allow people to try to change the vibe of this live. Get the fuck out. Then you're not in the right place, boo-boo. Plain and simple. I am not accommodating you, bitch. Got it? And yes, thank you, Rich. I spent the day replacing the battery in my car. Woohoo! Shells, that's the best thing. That's the best thing anyone has ever said about my life. She said, this is where I learn rap lyrics. I love you. That's the sweetest thing. I love that so much. You're so cute. Also, thank you for the Out Pops Jolly Bone and Branch. Look at that cutie. Leela, you're funny. Yeah, don't start no shit, there won't be no shit. It's about as simple as that. Oh, thanks, yeah. We do really, Lady Rose, we really do, because everybody always says, when she pulls out the boo-boo, watch out. Yeah, I was rapping for Angela on the way to Pizza Palooza, and she was laughing her ass off. Oh, happy early birthday, Abigail. Mace, I'm starting to think it might be that. Hi, Chris. Thank you for the hand hearts. Because that's why I was joking that one day and I said I need to start an OF page where I just talk shit to men, because I swear some of them come in here for it. Like, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. I'll crush you like a grape. Yeah, said I'm going to start hexing folks. Yeah, legit. And that's why I'm like, y'all, you're in a life full of witches. You got like a whole coven of witches that practice every single kind of magic in here. Don't fuck around, dude. Because we got Yaya over here saying, I'm too tired to hex people tonight. If that gives you any indication of what our coven's like. Uh-oh, Kelly, who pushed you? Goat man? Goat man? Exactly, Deborah. Who does that? It's so weird. It's so weird. And that's exactly it, Robin. I don't start shit, but I can tell you how it ends. Another great Sagittarius philosopher, Taylor Swift. Vigilante shit. Somebody pushed Michelle off the porch, guys. We need to investigate. Who did it? Yes, I'm a Swiftie. I'm a Swiftie. Thanks, Chris. I have been a Swiftie since her very first album. I saw her live when she used to perform with a stool and a tutu. Not really a tutu, but you know, like the poofy ass poofer. Yeah, James, it wasn't you. Ah, yes, Leela. Proud Swiftie from day one. I feel like I grew up with her. Michelle fell off the porch and she said someone pushed her. We need to figure out who did it. That's okay, Rachel. You don't have to be. It was not Mothman. I think it was maybe the deer woman. Did you really, Grizz? That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't go back that far. I haven't seen her live that early. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the camper van. Hi, Don. There you are. How you doing? The chat's moving fast. Hi, Don. Well, I will also say, Don, there's a reason they encourage people to keep their heart me not ashy, because guess what? The orange ones stand out a hell of a lot more than the gray ones. Just saying. Just saying. Where's Kim? Where's Kim to go? Is your heart me ashy? Here's some lotion. Kim always goes, here's some lotion. Here's some lotion. By the way, you guys, Dawn, and there she is. There she is. Don made the cutest, sweetest happy birthday background for me today in his live, and he had it kept it up the whole live, and it was the sweetest damn thing, and it made me smile like a dweeb. I was smiling the whole time. It was so sweet. Thank you, Don. You're the best. Love you, my dweeby brother. Thank you for the metamorphosis, Bianca or Blanca. Thank you. Or no, JK. Thanks for the metamorphosis. Blanca. Thanks for the heart me. Yeah, dork rappers. I know, it was so sweet. Yeah, it is, Leela. Thank you so much, Freedom. Angela, check your text messages. Angela, were you not listening to the whole explanation? Were you not listening to the whole explanation, Angela? And it ended up being a whole debacle. It still ended up being shitty. So there was literally no point in moving it to now. Wah, wah. Wah, wah. Yeah, I moved it. Remember, I didn't even celebrate it this year. I told everybody I was not fucking celebrating it, and I was celebrating on July 27th. And then I didn't, and nothing happened, and then my car needed a new battery. So, yeah, remember? Yeah, I kept my word. I did not celebrate my birthday this year. And thank you, JK. So I give up. I give up. It's whatever. Thank you, Whitney. Yeah, the chat is very quick tonight, Burley, for sure. So if I miss you guys, you're not invisible. I'm not ignoring you. There's a lot of the chat's just going very fast. Yeah, but how about this, guys? Tell me this isn't fate. The day I chose to move it to and try to celebrate, but then not celebrate it. Because you porch pals are amazing and you guys have made me feel so special today. Like literally you guys all wishing me happy birthday has really made me feel so special. And but today the Miami Zoo introduced a new baby capybara. Thank you, Rollout. And guess what they named it? Gouda. Now, if that's not fate, if that's not the universe giving me a little wink, I don't know what is. A baby capybara named Gouda? Was that made for me? Yeah. Yes, it was. That needs to be my baby. Am I going to steal it from the Miami Zoo? Maybe. We're not sure yet. Jamie lives there. It might happen. But yeah, a capybara named after my favorite cheese. Like, how is that a real thing? On my birthday? Stop it. Thank you so much, Leela. Oh, the corn. Thanks, Rich. I know. I can't believe it, Kelsey. I know. I'm like, what? Because my friend Jamie lives in, oh, thank you, Suzanne. My friend Jamie lives in Miami. She just sent it to me. She's like, no way. And Jamie's known me for like 20 years. So she knows my obsession with capybaras and Gouda cheese very well. I probably called her when I got detained for the Gouda. So she was like, holy shit. I was like, what? And so I know it sounds like really pathetic, but that alone has made me pretty happy. I just found that out while I was live. And I'm like, oh my, yeah, it is, Brie. And I was like, oh my God. Well, at least that's something cute. That's something fun. Yeah, Megan, I was detained for Gouda. I said it so casually that if you don't know the story, it probably sounds great. Yes, I was in fact detained for a wheel of Gouda cheese. And then I bit into the wax, spit it out, and took as big of a mouth bite as I could before they took it away from me out of my hands. And I said, at least I get a bite. You weren't going to fucking throw it in the trash without me getting a bite. And they laughed. Oh, you heard it earlier? Yeah, detained for the Gouda. I did. And they laughed. They thought it was hilarious. I would do it again. I'd do it again in a second. Except for this time I would just declare the cheese because I was young and I didn't even fucking know what that meant. I didn't know you had to do that. Thank you, Sherry. So I could have just, thank you, Kelly. Thanks, Brie. I could have just declared the cheese, but I didn't. So that was what was wrong, is I just needed to declare that shit or something. And I was like, just rolling through it in my bag. I was young. Oh, yes. Thank you, Tanya. So much. You guys are the best. You guys are so sweet. Yeah, exactly. I do declare this. That's great, Justin. I do declare this here wheel of cheese. And I didn't understand, I didn't even know what that meant. I thought you only had to declare I don't know, liquor and stuff. You know what I mean? So I just rolled. I was like, cheese can't possibly be something. Cheese is cheese is next to currency. There's no way they could really, you know what I mean? Come on. And then they did. My mid-Atlantic Southern accent, I know. I don't know why I do that. I do actually. It's my past life. It's my past life comes out. But yeah, so they took my cheese and it was cumin flavored Gouda and I've never found it since. And I was trying to take it from Holland. And I do it again. Wait, what, Rachel? That's literally me. I never even put the parallel together, but why am I Lucy? Because literally I had it in my pillow. but because I didn't want it to get all messed up in my bag in the top thing. And so I thought I'd just cuddle it. And so yeah, I pretty much was doing the I Love Lucy. I didn't even fucking, that's so funny. I had it in my pillow and I carried my pillow on. That's so funny. Wow. And salami, I would do the same for salami too. I love salami. But the cumin flavored Gouda, I've never seen it since. I'm like, did you declare them, Tamra? Because that's where I went wrong. I didn't declare them. And I brought them in my carry-on, not the checked. I don't know if there's a difference. I still really don't even know how to do it legally. Yeah, it sure does. But I put it in my pillow because I didn't want it to be up top. And yeah. It's like, whatever. I didn't cry. I just chomped in. I was a little bitch back then, and I just chomped right into that cheese and told them to go fuck themselves, basically. But I didn't say it like that. I was just very sassy, and they were laughing at me the whole time. They were just laughing like they thought it was cute. They were like cracking up. And I was like, because I told them at first, I was like, will you just please one of you guys take it home? And they're like, we can't do that. And I was like, well then fine, chomp. That's all you had to say, chomp. Thank you, Gabriel. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the camper van. Thanks, Carson. It started as one of those dreamy road trips, a meandering escape from the monotony of my 9 to 5. I had quit my job, sold most of my stuff, and I hit the road in my little camper van with my sweet cat Alfie as my co-pilot. It was just me, my cat, and the open road, tracing ribbons of asphalt across America. The plan was simple. No itinerary, no deadlines, just freedom. Somewhere along the way, the Appalachian Mountains called my name, and I decided to park near the trail for a few days of peace. The spot I found was idyllic, or so I thought. It was tucked into a grove of towering pines with the Appalachian Trail weaving nearby, like the thread through an old tapestry. The air was cool and it smelled like moss and earth. And I felt like a pioneer, discovering some uncharted corner of the world. After a day of hiking, I returned to my van with aching legs and a happy heart. Alfie greeted me with his usual loving meow, demanding to be picked up and fed. And after some hugs and head nuzzles, I fed him, made myself a bowl of chili, and I settled into my makeshift bed to read by lantern light. The stillness was incredible. No cars, no city hum. Just the occasional hoot of an owl or rustle of the wind. And that's when I first noticed the strange smell. It was faint but unmistakable. Like something metallic and sweet. Blood, maybe. I brushed it off as my imagination and I tried to focus on my book. But the smell lingered, making my stomach twist. Solange, did you change your name back? I just saw it pop up in the bottom. Did you change it back? Because now I just saw it pop up. Alfie's ears flattened and he let out a low, uneasy growl. Fuck yeah, she did. I saw it pop up. See, that's so much easier to see. I saw it pop up right away. Yay, thanks, girl, yay. Alfie's ears flattened and he let out a low, uneasy growl. My nerves prickled. It's just a deer or something, I mumbled, more to reassure myself than Alfie. But I couldn't shake the feeling that we were not alone. Thank you, Kitty Mom. Thank you, Faye Reed. Thanks, Dawn. Thanks, Carmen. I kept waking up sure that I had heard something. A branch snapping. The faint crunch of footsteps. I peeked out the windows, but the forest was just a wall of black. Alfie curled up against me, his fur bristling. By morning, I convinced myself it was nothing, and I decided to explore the area, sticking to the well-marked trails. Thanks, Dawn. The sun was bright and the forest alive with birdsong, and I started to feel silly for being so spooked last night. That was until I crossed paths with a man. He was old, with a face weathered like tree bark, and eyes that didn't quite match his friendly smile. Thank you, Gambit. He wore a faded plaid shirt and he carried a rusty hatchet slung casually over his shoulder. Yeah, excuse me, sir, do you have a permit? We exchanged the usual pleasantries, but there was something about him that made my skin crawl. You camping around here? He asked, his tone just a shade too curious. I hesitated. Just passing through, I lied. His smile widened. Not a lot of folks come up this way. It's real quiet, you know, real peaceful. Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for, I said, grabbing my hiking poles just a little tighter. He nodded, lingering a beat too long, before continuing down the trail. As soon as he was out of sight, I turned back toward the van, my heart thudding. When I got back, something felt off. The side door was ajar. Thanks, Carmen. I was sure I had locked it. Inside, things had been moved. Not much, just a few little things. My mug was on the counter instead of the sink. Alfie's litter box had been shifted a few inches. Someone had been in here. I grabbed my pepper spray and I did a thorough check, but I didn't find anything. I double-checked the locks and I told myself that I'd just leave in the morning. But as night fell, that metallic smell returned. Stronger this time. Alfie hissed and his tail puffed up like a bottle brush. And then around midnight, I heard it. And not just the imagined sounds of the forest. This was something deliberate. Footsteps, heavy, purposeful. Circling the van. Alfie's growls turned into low, guttural yowls. As the footsteps stopped just outside the driver's side door. And then there was silence. Minutes dragged into hours, and I finally drifted into a restless sleep. jerking awake at every little sound. By dawn, I was so ready to leave, but when I opened the door, I froze. There were handprints on the van, smudged and greasy like someone had run their fingers along the windows. And on the hood, a small pile of animal bones arranged in a crude circle. My stomach churned, but I forced myself to clean it up, tossing the bones into the woods before starting the engine. I needed to get out of here, but the van wouldn't start. The battery was dead, even though I checked it just a day ago. Smacks, tell me how. How? How would you help? The battery was dead even though I just checked it a day ago. Panic bubbled in my chest and I tried and failed to get it going. I was stranded. I spent the day trying to flag down hikers, but no one passed by. The isolation pressed in on me, the forest now feeling less like a haven and more like a trap. I know, Rachel, right? That night, I barricaded the doors with everything I could find. A folding chair, a cooler, even Alfie's litter box. I kept a kitchen knife within arm's reach and I huddled under my blankets, just waiting for morning. The smell came back thicker than ever, and with a low guttural humming. It wasn't an animal, it sounded human, but rough, wrong. The sound moved closer, circling the van, and then something heavy slammed against the side. Alfie screeched and darted under the bed as I grabbed the knife. My heart pounding. The van rocked as whatever it was slammed into it again, harder this time. And then nothing. I stayed awake until the first rays of sunlight pierced through the trees. When I finally opened the door, I saw it. Deep gouges in the metal like claw marks. And a message scrolled in what looked like ash across the windshield that said, "Leave." I didn't need to be told twice. I spent the day rigging a makeshift solar charger on a whim, praying it would give the battery enough juice to start the engine. By late afternoon, I tried again, and the van roared to life. Relief washed over me as I threw my stuff in the back and prepared to leave. As I pulled onto the narrow dirt road, I saw him again. The man from the trail, standing at the edge of the woods, watching me with that same unsettling smile. This time, the hatchet wasn't slung casually over his shoulder. It was in his hand. The blade glistening in the fading light. I didn't stop. My hands shook as I gripped the wheel, my eyes darting to the rearview mirror every few seconds. It wasn't until I was miles away back on the main road that I let out the breath I had been holding. When I stopped at the gas station to fill up, I noticed on the back of the van written in mud, was a single word. Soon. I drove through the night not stopping until I was well beyond the Appalachian Trail. And to this day, I don't know what I encountered out there. A deranged local? Bigfoot? Something else? All I know is that Alfie and I escaped with our lives. And one hell of a story. And now every time I get into my van, I check the locks twice and I keep Alfie close, just in case. And that's the tale of the camper van. Me too, Burley. Shit, me too. Thank you, Wilkins. Thank you, Rich. Gabriel, that's the most North Carolina joke. I fucking love that. He knew I went to Food Lion. He was trying to warn me not to eat it. Gabriel, that's so funny. Yeah, Gabriel over here on YT just made a very North Carolina specific joke about Food Lion Carson, and it's so. He said it was Old Man Ingalls. He knew I had gone to Food Lion. Hi, E Online. Hi, Maria. Yeah, flying over. It can happen. Shouldn't deter you from ever wanting one, though. Hi, Gobbler. Thank you. Hello, Skrilla. Is it better than Piggly Wiggly, though? Is it, though? You did, Rich? You just came back from Food Lion? Yeah. Wait, Rich, what state do you live in that you have Food Lion? Do you live in North Carolina? He was, Deb, but he was just joking. Hi, Jade. Oh, you moved to North Carolina. Cool. Thank you, Flying. I appreciate it. Oh, you do, Kim? I didn't know that. Yes, Piggly Wiggly's a real thing, Stacy. It's a Southern grocery store. And I know this is surprising, but the mascot's a pig. And he's wiggly. Love you, Jade. I miss Harris Teeter. That was our grocery store, Harris Teeter. You can go down to Harris Teeter. And I used to steal the toilet paper rolls from the Harris Teeter bathroom and toilet paper people. Sure did. And yeah, right, Gabriel, and the Winn-Dixie. Those are the names of the grocery stores in North Carolina, and I'm not kidding. Harris Teeter, Winn-Dixie, Piggly Wiggly. And now that I say them out loud, I'm like, that does sound ridiculous, doesn't it? But yep. But guess what? Kroger bought Winn-Dixie. Did you really, Rachel? I know, the pig. But Winn-Dixie had dragon cookies, y'all. They had a dragon mascot, and they would give away free dragon cookies. God, it was good. Aldi bought Winn-Dixie? Really? Yeah, and Kroger bought Harris Teeter. Yeah, Aldi bought all the Winn-Dixies, man. Ma'am? You don't know about Piggly Wiggly? All right, guys, guess what? Guess what time it is? Oh, thank you, Matt. And yes, thanks, guys, for making me feel so special tonight. You guys have been great. It is new story time. So, if you guys could do me a big favor, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner? There's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Also, sharing to your stories and sharing with your friends helps too. Also, thank you guys for tapping. Your aunt bought a hardware store, Tom? Cool. Congrats. But you're just gonna get an awesome ass discount on hardware, aren't you? That's pretty exciting. Lumber is pretty expensive. Where you got your shovel? Tom, perfect. Perfect. Where you got your shovel. Yeah, Stacy. Yeah, Virgil's hardware. Thank you, Glossette. You're so cute. All right, guys, I'll be right back with the new story. Grab a beanbag chair. Does she have a Radio Shack? Kim is just dying for somebody who knows where there's a Radio Shack. If you have a Radio Shack in your town still, please let us know in the chat. Please. Thank you, guys. And yes, Stacy, it is. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, I will be no Radio Shacks. That's what we told Kim. We told Kim they're gone, but she doesn't want to believe it. She's hurting. She's hurting. She needs someone to say they have one left. Skrilla tried. Skrilla got a picture of a sign of one. He sure did. All right, guys, I'll be right back with a new story. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. Happy Monday. No, actually, I'm not sure, Solange. He could have very well done that too. You should ask him. Kim, did you hear that? Kim, did you hear that? They still live online. I'm a lioness. Thank you, Stacy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, Kim, did you see that? Naomi to the rescue. There's a Radio Shack. You just have to go to Pennsylvania. There's more than one. Holy shit, there's 3 in Pennsylvania. Thank you, Naomi. Do you see that, Kim? There's 3 in Pennsylvania. Oh my God. Kim, that's my favorite. You know I love Lily the leopard. You know I love Lily the leopard. Oh, somebody found one in Southern Oregon. Thanks, Chris. I love Lily the leopard, and I dream of holding paws with a baby snow leopard in a field of flowers and spinning like that while it goes meow, and there's bubbles everywhere. Like, dream scenario. Who made that up? What genius came up with that gift? Because I feel like every time I get it, all of the like endorphins just rush in. I'm like, it's just the best. I love it so much. Lily the leopard is, thank you, Chris. You know how much I love it too, Chris, because I act like that every fucking time I get Lily. Every time I get Lily, I stop everything I'm doing and I'm like, because I want to pretend I'm holding paws with her. It's just the cutest, because it's like a POV gift. It looks like you're holding her paws and it's the cutest shit. I can't even handle it. Like, whoever made it up, it's like, can you believe that's somebody's job? To just sit there all day and imagine the cutest shit? And then some asshole came along and came up with those records. I hope he got fired. I really hope he got fired. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah. But like, we will never encounter a baby snow leopard, so that's as close as we're ever going to get. You know what I mean? Am I ever going to come across a baby snow leopard? Probably not. Would I love to? Yes. Would I probably be the lady in the newspaper that died trying to hold paws with the baby snow leopard? Yeah. Which is why I probably will never have an encounter with one. Wait, James, did you find a Radio Shack in Arizona? I know, they're so rare, Deborah. Exactly. That's why I'm like, that's as close as I'm ever going to get. So I'm going to sit there and enjoy it and pretend, because they're so rare. I'll never see one. You know? But I would love to. No, I didn't, Stacy. I would love to see that video, though. They're so incredible. Yeah, Naomi, thank you. I don't think Kim cares if they're corporate stores. Kim just wants to go to a Radio Shack. She took pictures with it and then it attacked her. Yeah, you'll have that. Snowy kitties aren't as happy kitties. Snowy kitties are meaner kitties, but they're still pretty. But the snowy kitties are pissed because they're cold. Kim, James found one in Arizona. Did you see it? He added you. I feel like you need to go live from a Radio Shack. Do you really, Deborah? Oh my God. I bet they're so fucking cute. Thank you, Glossette. All right, guys, get comfy. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. I'll be right back with the new story of the week. Do it, Jade, do it. Do it for both of us. I'll live vicariously through you. We have a hippo here, and it likes me. You guys ready for the new one? You ready for the unveiling? Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Katina. Thank you, Corey. Thanks, Robin, for the Pops Jolly. Thank you so much. Those are so cute. They're all coming up now. There she is, y'all. She's pissed. You know what this music means? She's pissed. I'm glad, Lily, because I'm going to start doing more of those now. Thank you, Chris, for helping me with my gift gallery. Thank you for the smoochies. Thanks for all the smooches. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, Possum over on YT says, there's a Radio Shack in Bamberg, South Carolina, Kim. Corgi Booty, thank you. Chris, thank you for helping me with my gallery. You're the sweetest. Guys, look at that booty. Look at that cute little booty. It looks like a dog version of Merlin. Oh yeah, she's pissed. Wait till you hear what happened to her. She's pissed. Rich, thanks for the seahorse. Seahorses, I love them. And Brianna, thank you for your first gift ever. What an honor. Brianna, thank you so much. I know, thank you. I was just, yeah, thank you so much, Brianna. That's so sweet. I know, the corgi farts hearts. Isn't it the cutest thing? And that's what the little heart puffs are. The heart puff gifts are actually heart farts. Yes, Stacy, I make them all hot so you guys pay attention better. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. You didn't know that, Matt? This is the tale of the last American vampire. Fairy Witch, I actually used to be friends with her and she just passed away recently. And you're not wrong, she kind of did look like this. Her name was DeVay, in case you were curious. Gather around the fire. Pull up your blankets tight. And listen closely. Tonight's tale carries a chill from a time not so long ago. A time when the shadows at the edge of the woods Kim, I'm dying. Held unexplained terrors that turned uneducated people towards cruelty and hysteria. Before we had antibiotics, before we understood the invisible microscopic world of bacteria, humanity was at a constant mercy of sudden, inexplicable death. Kim, stop. And when uneducated people are terrified, when they watch the ones they love wither away before their very eyes, sadly, they don't tend to look to science for answers. They tend to look to evil forces or conspiracies. anything to make sense of something that they just don't understand. And that is exactly what happened in New England in the late 1800s. This is the true story of Mercy Brown, the last American vampire. Picture the winter of 1892 in Exeter, Rhode Island. Its harsh, unforgiving landscape. Frost coats the bare branches and the earth is frozen solid. Here, we meet a young woman named Mercy Brown. She was only 19 years old by all accounts, a gentle, bright-eyed girl at the beginning of her life. She was the kind of person whose laughter brought warmth to a cold New England farmhouse. But a shadow had fallen over the Brown family. A relentless, invisible stalker called consumption. Today, we know it as tuberculosis. But back then, they didn't know about airborne pathogens. All they know was the horrifying reality of what the disease did to their loved ones. It earned the name consumption because it literally seemed to consume the afflicted from the inside out. Sufferers grew deathly pale. Their eyes became sunken and hollow, and they would cough up bright red blood. To the horrified onlookers of the 19th century, it didn't look like a sickness. It looked as though the life force was being slowly and deliberately drained from them by an unseen predator. The tragedy began years earlier. Mercy's mother, Mary, was the first to waste away and die. Then Mercy's older sister, Mary Olive, followed her to the grave. By 1891, the shadow fell on Mercy's brother, Edwin, a strong, strapping young man who suddenly began to wither away. And then the shadow turned to young Mercy. But the disease took her swiftly. While Edwin lingered fighting for every breath, Mercy faded fast. And in January of 1892, the bright light of Mercy Brown was extinguished. And because the ground was too frozen to dig a proper grave, her coffin was placed in an above-ground crypt, waiting for the spring thaw. But Edwin was still dying, and as his condition worsened, a chilling whisper began to spread through the small, desperate town of Exeter. The neighbors looked at the grieving father, George Brown, and planted a terrifying seed of doubt. Why is George's family dying? It must be the old curse. One of the dead is feeding off the living. One of them is a vampire. They believed that if a family member died and refused to rest, it could return from the grave in spirit form to drain the vitality from surviving relatives. It was a desperate folk belief born of sheer panic. When science can't explain why a family is being wiped out, weaker human minds will invent monsters to make sense of the unexplained. And desperate to save his only remaining son, George Brown finally gave in. And on a biting, freezing morning in March of 1892, a group of townspeople accompanied by a local doctor marched into the cemetery. They opened the graves of the mother and eldest sister first, but there was nothing but bone and dust. And then they pried open the crypt holding 19-year-old Mercy. Gasps echoed through the freezing air. Mercy did not look like a decaying corpse. Her body had slightly shifted in the coffin and her skin was still relatively flush. Oh my God, Kim. Cool. I didn't know he had that. And when the doctor, trembling, cut into her chest, he found liquid blood in her heart. A vampire, the townspeople declared. What they didn't understand, what the desperate, terrified minds of the 19th century couldn't comprehend, was the natural science that follows death. Mercy had been dead for barely 2 months, stored in an above-ground crypt during the freezing New England winter. The cold had acted as an icebox, perfectly preserving her remains. The shifting of her body was merely the natural process of decomposition and bloating. But a lack of knowledge mixed with fear is a powerful blinding force. And right there in the cemetery, they removed Mercy's heart and liver. They placed her organs on a nearby rock and they set them ablaze. The smoke drifted up into the winter sky, carrying the remains of the innocent girl. They scooped up the ashes, mixed them with water, and fed the vile concoction to young Edwin. A gruesome and desperate magic potion meant to cure him. And to no surprise, it didn't work, and Edwin died 2 months later. Hi, Jasmine. The story of Mercy Brown is a haunting campfire tale, but the true monster wasn't a fanged creature of the night. The monster was a lack of knowledge and fear. The tragedy of the New England vampire panic is a profound reflection of how our ancestors struggled. Thank you, Stacy. Faced with devastating mysteries of nature, of disease, and of death, they sought to regain control through grim rituals, turning their own tragic dead into scapegoats. Thank you, Amanda. So let this be a reminder. When we are faced with the unknown, when fear threatens to consume us, we must strive to hold on to reason. We must remember to shine the light of compassion into the dark. And rather than creating monsters out of shadows, because the greatest tragedies occur not when the dead rise, but when the living let their terror guide them. And that's the tale of the last American vampire. Thank you, Corey. And that's the new story of the week. I hope you guys like it. Thank you, Flying. Thank you, Lily. My grandma, Thay? Like my witch grandma? The one that was accused of witchcraft? No, Robin. That story is a perfect example of how that lore became to be. They were created out of medical ignorance and fear. Yeah, Jasmine. Good night, Corey. Matt, Archangelo, thank you for the swan. Matt, thanks for the galaxy. You guys, Archangelo, thank you for helping me with my gallery. And Matt, thank you for helping me with my gallery. I really appreciate you guys. Unless you live in Louisiana. Aw, Flying. My goal is to help you fall asleep, but once you get to know the stories better, you will. Edward Cullen is very real. Oh, that's weird, Gabriel. I wonder why. All right, guys, I'm going to set up the next poll for us to vote for the next story. Thank you for all the sweet, kind love you guys have shown me tonight. Thank you, Flying Over, for the cakes. That's so cute. By the way, Robin, or Chris, I thought you said you were eating fungicide. And I was like, what? And then I looked and it was like fudgesicle spelled like crazy. And I was like, oh my God. I wasn't a Santa revealer, Skrilla. You were. I wasn't a Santa revealer today. You were. Just raining on my parade. I know, Chris. The way you spelled it is so funny. Look, you guys. Look how Chris spelled fudgesicle. I was dying. Here we go. It's so cute. I was like trying to read and I was like, fungicide? What is she eating? Oh, good. I'm glad it's better, Gabriel. Hi, Meg. Yeah, Meg, there's a lag because it's streamed through a third-party site. I don't know how to spell it, Chris. What do you mean, Bethany? Who? Did who, Robin? We really were, Skrilla. We really were. She died of consumption. which is tuberculosis. Thank you, Jade. Thank you. Gabriel. Oh my God, Kim. Meg over here pointed out that there was a lag from YT. And Gabriel said, yeah. And I said, yeah, because it goes through a third-party site. And Gabriel said, yeah, it bounces through a Radio Shack. We're all cracking up over here, Gabriel. It bounces. Kim, you need to come over here and give Gabriel props for that joke. Oh yeah, Circuit City's gone too. She said, here I come. All right, guys, I'll be right back with the next poll. All right, you guys. Thanks, B. It's not new. It's just the song that goes with my banshees and like any of the pissed off ghosts. Like the Selkies, vampire, banshees, any of that. And this is more for like cryptids. This is my cryptid music, like, or aliens. Because it has the theremin from Lil Wayne and Rick Ross John in it. Hear it? Roll up the choppers like it's December 31st. I mean, it's fucking perfect. Anyway, the poll is ready. And we have Poplar Creek, Haint Blue, the Reincarnated Egyptian, the Carolina Creeper, put a vapor rub on your peg. Wait, is Jade sick? Jade, are you sick? Oh, I'm sorry you have a migraine. I love you. Feel better, Jade. He said put some rub on your peg. Well, thank you, Kim, for the goat trophy. Floppy disks. Just put vapor rub on your peg. Aw, migraine, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better, boo-boo. Love you. Yeah, it won't let us pin it. Alright, guys. We have Poplar Creek, Haint Blue, Reincarnated Egyptian, Carolina Creeper, and Ash Grove. No, floppy disk. They said Radio Shack was the only place in 5 countries that sold floppy disks in my day. That's what Possum said. Sounds like a very wise possum. Kim, the goat main. All right, guys, you can vote in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box, and you can vote 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. And we have Poplar Creek, Haint Blue, Reincarnated Egyptian, Carolina Creeper, and Ash Grove. Who's it gonna be? Hey now, Flying, watch what you say about Oregon Trail and being old, okay? I caught malaria like nobody's business. Dysentery and I, besties. I also had the Amazon Trail, and I used to capsize my canoe all the fucking time. And the voice was stupid, and I will never forget it. It was like, you have capsized. You have capsized. And it was so annoying. And I was like, listen, bitch, if you capsize me one more time. That was little Devin saying that, by the way. Yeah, we really were. That fucking river, dude. Math blasters? Oh my god, that sounds like my nightmare. I can't imagine anything worse. Anything math related, get it away from me. Yeah, the same little Justin, that's perfect. He said the same little Devin from Masked Visitor. Yeah, that picture of me from 3rd grade. Same girl who said that. She said, capsize me one more time. I dare you. I wish you would. I wish you would. Also, Skrilla, don't think I didn't catch that awesome rap lyric earlier in the middle of the story. If it wasn't the brand new story, I would have stopped and rapped, but I don't break during the first reading of the new stories. But it was a good one. It was a good one. Devin 2 Cakes. Yep, same girl. Same girl. Devin 2 Cakes was a handful. Still am. And yes, guys, on my birthday when I was 3 years old, just 3, I was already that fucking annoying at 3 years old. I told my parents that I didn't want 1 cake. I wanted 2 birthday cakes. And you want to know why? Because I wanted one of them to have a number 3 candle, and then I wanted the other one to have 3 candles on it, because I like options. I like variety, and I wanted to see I wanted to see both. I wanted to have both. And you know what? My dad did it. My amazing dad did it. And there's a picture of me with both of them sitting in front of me, 3 years old, happy as a clam. And I'd do it again. Yeah. Except for I didn't get cake at either birthday, Skrilla, so nice try. I still got nothing. So there was no point in doing this one either. Wamp, wamp. But yeah, I have the picture. I can share it in the Discord. It's really funny. I'll do it again. I've literally had to buy myself my birthday cakes like more times than I care to admit. Because who the hell wants to have to ask for a birthday cake? And it's Thanksgiving, and everybody's like bringing 17 pies. So I've literally eaten cake in my car before outside of Thanksgiving. That's how depressing having a Thanksgiving birthday is. It's the fucking worst. Faye, I chose Leo. I'm actually a Sag, but I didn't celebrate my birthday this year because I don't like having my birthday in November on Thanksgiving. And my birthday was literally on Thanksgiving this year, and it was a big birthday for me, and I didn't want to have it on Thanksgiving. So I said, you know what, I'm not celebrating it until July 27th. Because Leo and Saggies are like best friends, so I figured it'd be close enough sign, you know? And then I spent the day replacing the battery in my car. So that didn't really go as planned. Wee wee. See, and that's why I refuse. Lovely. That's why I refuse. No one will ever believe I'm a fucking Virgo. I can't do August 27th because no one in their right mind would believe I'm a Virgo. And I don't mean it in a bad way, Lovely. I mean it in like I'm very Sagittarius. Very all over the place. Virgos are like very structured. I just failed my puzzle piece. Oh my god, the pressure. The pressure. All right, guys, the winner is the reincarnated Egyptian. This is also a true story, and she's amazing. She's basically the patron saint of Egyptology. And if you don't know what Egyptology is, fun fact, I minored in anthropology and archaeology in college with a concentration on pre-Columbian lithic technology. You know what that is? Probably not. You know, megalithic, the word lithic means stone. And I am actually a trained expert in the stone technology of pre-Columbian mound building societies. And that's archaeology, okay? Egyptology, the scope of what they've discovered and not discovered yet in Egypt is so large and so vast and so different than all the other archaeology in the entire fucking world that they get their own category, and it's called Egyptology. Did you guys know that? And you can't be an Egyptologist unless you have spent time digging in Egypt, and you cannot dig in Egypt unless you have an Egyptian native with you at all times. They are one of the strictest countries. They have a minister of antiquities, which is a federal officer that deals with their ancient sites. You want to know why? Because motherfuckers went over there and looted the shit out of Egypt from 1900 until about now. Check out Hobby Lobby family. The people who own Hobby Lobby, give them a goog. Give them a goog. They're tomb robbers. Fun fact. They're horrible people. Anyway, so this story is about one of the original people who founded Egyptology, and it's a woman. And all her knowledge came from reincarnation. And this is fucking true. This is one of my favorite stories of all time. So sit back and relax. And get ready for the tale of the reincarnated Egyptian. Yeah, and the people from Hobby Lobby have a place in Oklahoma that's a fucking museum filled with religious artifacts that they have tried to collect to prove Jesus and the Bible is real from all over the world. And then they like twist the meanings of them, and they have a whole museum for it. And that's what they do with the artifacts they steal. Fun fact. It's infuriating. Anyway. Yeah, I know, Joe. I've heard that. Thanks, Freedom. Freedom said sick fact. Thanks. Sure, Matt. Wouldn't that be a lovely world if that actually happened? Oh, really, Faye? You refused Egypt? You were an anthro student too? Hi. Hi. There's not a lot of us out there. Whenever I tell people, they're like, I've never met an archaeologist. I'm like, well, probably because none of us have paid gigs. Probably because unless you get a job with the DNR, none of us have jobs in archaeology. Oh, did you, Matt? I love that. Yeah, it is crazy, but it's true. Yeah, you guys can give it a goog, everything I said, I promise. Exactly, Faye. Exactly. You get the joke. I'm like, that's good. You never met an archaeologist because none of us are actually in the field because there's no funding. There's no funding for it. So that's why you've never met an archaeologist, because they're all doing a different job because we don't get to do our dreams. Because they cut sciences all the time. Social sciences go first. Because they don't make enough profit. Knowledge doesn't equal profit. And yeah, Joe says over here on YT, I am in Oklahoma, and you are correct. Yes, my brother actually lives in Edmonton. Is that right? Edmonton? Yeah. I don't think Josh has ever found a thing in his life. Except for a mirror. Bro loves himself. A lot. And notice how he's like the only archaeologist any of y'all can name. Exactly. Because it's a very thankless job, but it's like when you have the passion for it, it just sucks. It's like a curse. You're lucky if you don't love ancient history. And just in case I mumbled that off really quickly for you guys, just in case you guys don't know what pre-Columbian means, pre-Columbian was the cultures that were here before Columbus came. That's how it is scaled in times of occupation and colonization. Anything deemed pre-Columbian are tribes that are so old that they aren't generally related to the tribes that most of you guys would be familiar with. They're tribes that we don't really have names for. We just have names for the basically the occupational time period of their culture, if that makes sense. Like the Mississippian culture, the mound building culture, stuff like that. All the way back to like 11,000 years ago when they were living with mastodons. That's the area I know about. So people always bring me arrowheads and they're like, hey, what's this? And I do know a little bit, but arrowheads are very modern. They were brought here by the Spanish. The bow and arrow was brought to America by the Spanish. So natives, actually indigenous, did not use the bow and arrow until much, much later. Before that, they used what was called an atlatl. If you look it up, it's a very cool primitive tool that uses a counterweight, a lithic, that's why I know about it, because it used stones on the back, and then they had what is called a projectile point. It looks similar to an arrowhead, but they're larger, and they went on spears that were thrown from an atlatl instead of a bow and arrow shot. So I know about very old stone tools, like cavemen shit. Does that make sense? Skrilla, that's true. So basically, you know Brooke, yeah, you know about the atlatl, yeah, girl. And so, yeah, so my area isn't the more modern. So sometimes when I tell people I'm expert, and then they show me more modern arrowheads, I'm like, I don't know what tribe made that. I'm sorry, I don't. And the materials they even used were totally different because the trade routes they had were totally different. And so it's like I'm very old population. Like they don't even have names for a lot of these, and they were not. They like the modern day tribes don't usually claim them as they will say we don't know who the mound builders were. We don't claim them as our ancestors. And my area was the mound builders, and they aren't currently claimed by any modern tribe. So at least the Mississippian culture is not. So, and that was the area I studied. So just in case you guys didn't know what I meant by pre-Columbian or lithics, it's just stone tools from a really long time ago. Primitive man, very primitive people, like the beginning of humans. Well, not the beginning, but very early technology. And they call it technology because, believe it or not, the wheel was the very first technology. So people think that means electronics, but the word technology does not mean electronics. The first form of technology was the wheel. So stone tools are technology. They are ways of making things work for us. And we advanced as we progressed, and our tools got better and better. So anyway, there's a little spiel for you guys. Exactly, Brooke. Bricks are technology. Half a brick, quarter brick. Hey! Cute, Skrilla. Cute. Nikki got it. Half a brick, quarter brick. Hey! Oh, yeah, Joe, you're right. I'm talking about stone. Sorry, I should have specified. I was talking about stone, the first stone technology. And yes, you're correct. Fire was the actual first technology. Thank you, Lucy. Yes, Skrilla, that is Susan Sarandon. Good eye. And Lonely Waltz, you don't wish you had a master's in history, trust me. You just have a lot of student loan debt, and then there's no jobs. The administration we're currently in has just gutted education, scientific research, anything like that. So it is not a time to get your master's in science, I'm sorry to say, but don't even do it. Wait a few more years. Because politics do actually affect every aspect of life, especially when you majored in things like sciences. It immensely affects those of us who majored in things like sciences. Oh God, lonely. So we're in the same boat then. You get it. I'm so sorry. You get it. I'm here for you. A decade, yeah. If that. Literally, it's the worst. Oh, okay, lonely. So, okay, cool. So we're close to the same age. I thought you meant you were like considering it. I was like, please don't. Oh God, Eric, that's gotta be tough too. Yep, that's the truth, Matt. That's the truth. And whenever people are like, oh, politics, I'm like, yeah, it literally affects every aspect of our quality of life. So, like, I don't really like it either, dude. But, like, when, it's not fun. But Yeah, lonely, same. Same. I knew what I was getting. Yep, same. That's why I said it's a curse. Yeah, you really are, Matt. Well, I was raised in North Carolina too, so. Yeah, Thay, I hate to break it to you, but we didn't vote that way, boo boo. It's called Starlink. Right, Matt? Might as well be. What would you name yours? What would you name yours, Matt? Yeah, right, Joe? Thank you, Beefy. Yeah, Archangelo, exactly. Sharky? Oh my God, I love that. And I love how you had an answer so quickly. Like, you've been thinking about that. Matt was like, Sharky. That's it. Sharky. I love that. Oh, thanks, Thay. Love you too. SOS, help us. Say, are you in Brazil? Is that correct? Thank you, Mamasaurus. That's so pretty. And thank you for the pearl chime. You are in Brazil. Oh my God. Were you here when I spewed about Pele? Because I can't get enough and I talk about it every day. I've watched it twice. I've cried over it every time. It's so good. It's the most beautiful story. I didn't even know anything about Jenga and how it totally became the soccer we know today. And it's the most beautiful movie. Exactly, lonely. You're right. And I didn't even know who Pele was because I'm not into soccer much. But the movie's called Pele. And I'm not even Brazilian. And I was like crying at the end. I was like, this is beautiful. The Brazilian people have been through so fucking much. What the hell? Yeah, Pele. It's so good. Yeah, see, Skrilla said, uh-oh, Pele again. I get emotional. I get emotional about it. Yeah, you should love him. But the movie, have you seen the movie? The movie is like, I might watch it again tonight. My God, it's good. And I had no idea Brazil went through all that shit. And it was just, they were treated so poorly by all European countries. I mean, it was just, I love learning new things. And I learned a lot of new history that I didn't know about Brazil. And it was a really feel-good ending. Yeah, they watch it. It's on, where did I watch it? Roku. It came up on my Roku TV in the little ad boxes. And it was free on the little Roku channel. So when I clicked on it, it just took me into the purple thing. And then it started playing. And I was like, okay. And then I was crying by the end. Like happy crying. Good crying. It's not sad. It's like beautiful. It's so good. I'm swinging my hands. It's so good. Anyway, be right back. Yeah, Matt, they've been advertising it on Roku. Yep, watch it. Because I just randomly was like, what's this? And I usually am not even a movie. I don't really watch a lot of movies. I'm more of like a couple episode show person at a time. But like, it just caught my eye and I was like, whatever. And I don't even care about soccer. So I didn't know it was about soccer until I clicked on it. But then it was talking about the history of Brazil. And I was like, I don't know why, but something compelled me to watch it. And it was amazing. It was one of the best movies I've seen. Oh, really, Rachel? Yeah, it was one of the best movies I've seen. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the reincarnated Egyptian. Beefy, the 2016 movie. Just to clarify, guys, the 2016 movie, not the 2021 documentary. The 2016 movie with an actor that portrays him. It's so good. I love that, Rachel. As he should be, Mama Soros. He was incredible. Yeah, well, Thay, you guys still are. You guys are known, Brazilians are known for being incredible in soccer. At least in my, like, that, like, I told my mom about the movie, and my mom was like, well, that makes sense because Brazilians are so good at soccer. So, like, as far as I know, everybody still thinks that y'all are really good at soccer. And you have a lot of supermodels. And the big Jesus thing, but that's, you know. Yeah, Thay, you know that guy. Sexy Jesus. Three-year-old Dorothy was playing when she accidentally fell down a flight of stairs and hit her head, which knocked her unconscious. When her parents found her, she wasn't breathing. They called a doctor who rushed over immediately. What's wrong, Skrilla? Yeah, Rich, I was talking about that. Dorothy's mother broke down when the doctor said there was nothing he could do. Her little girl was dead. The doctor left and returned an hour later with Dorothy's death certificate. And he gently discussed arrangements for the little girl's burial. But during this conversation, shuffling was heard, coming from Dorothy's room. They ran upstairs, and there she was, playing in her room like nothing had happened. The doctor examined her again, and there was no sign of injury. He had no explanation. He said it appeared as if Dorothy had come back from the dead. He didn't realize then just how right he was. Dorothy Eady was born in London in 1904. And until her fall down the stairs and her resurrection, she was a normal little girl. But after the fall, she started having night terrors. Her mother would wake her and Dorothy would tell her about the dream. She told her mom that she was living in a huge calmed building surrounded by trees and green gardens. It was always the same dream. And Dorothy would continue to tell her mother that she wanted to go home. When she was asked where home was, Dorothy would say she didn't know, but she just knew that she wanted to go back there. After the fall, Dorothy would occasionally speak in a heavy foreign accent. And this became so unsettling that Dorothy's parents had trouble finding a babysitter. When Dorothy was 4, her parents planned a day at the British Museum, but they couldn't find anyone to watch Dorothy, so they brought her along. And that's when things got really strange. As expected, 4-year-old Dorothy was bored at the museum. She moped. She dragged her feet. Thank you, Cujo. Welcome in. She acted like most 4-year-olds would act at a museum. But then, Dorothy's mood drastically changed when they reached the ancient Egyptian exhibit. SLS. Dorothy was dazzled by the artifacts, but when she saw the Egyptian statues, she tore herself from her mother's grip and ran through the halls. Dorothy's mother was mortified at her daughter's behavior. But then Dorothy suddenly stopped and became silent. Dorothy's parents found her in front of a glass case frozen. She was staring at the face of an Egyptian mummy. Dorothy's mother picked her up, but she got upset. Then, in a voice that sounded like an old woman, Dorothy told her mother, "These are my people." Yeah, Rachel, it's really famous. She's a legend. It took Dorothy's parents a few hours to finally drag her out of the museum. But whenever the family had free time, they would take Dorothy back to the Egyptian exhibit because it was the only place where their daughter seemed to be happy. When Dorothy was 7, her father bought her a children's encyclopedia about ancient Egypt. Dorothy spent hours studying hieroglyphics with a magnifying glass. Her mother would ask her what she was doing, and Dorothy would say, "I'm trying to remember." While reading a science magazine, Dorothy came across a picture of a temple built for the pharaoh Seti, father of Ramses the Great, in the town of Abydos. Dorothy was confused. She asked her mother where all the trees were and all the green gardens. Dorothy's mother asked her, "What is this place?" Dorothy smiled the biggest smile. She pointed to the temple in Abydos and said, "Mama, this is my home." Children remembering their past lives is more common than most people think. There are thousands of documented cases, and these are just the cases that parents report. There are thousands more cases where parents are too confused or embarrassed to report it, or they just brush it off as imagination. Hi, Daz. Almost every case of past life memory starts around the age of 2 or 3. Most end around 7 or 8, but not everyone. And not so with Dorothy Eady. As she got older, her memories became more clear. And it was only a matter of time before Dorothy Eady would find out who she really was 3,000 years ago. Dorothy Eady was very outspoken about reincarnation. She spoke about it openly and didn't care what anybody thought. And this was a problem for a teenage girl in the 1920s, and sadly, still seems to be a problem today. Her parents tolerated what they thought was just eccentricity, but other people weren't so forgiving. One Sunday afternoon, a priest showed up at the Eady's door. The priest said that Dorothy was no longer welcome at Sunday school because she had refused to sing a hymn that spoke poorly about Egypt. Can someone tell Mama Saurus how to avoid this? Because that doesn't have to happen. But the last straw was when Dorothy argued with the Sunday school teacher that Christianity was based on the old religion of Egypt, which is actually true. But the church doesn't like to hear that, especially from a teenage girl. Dorothy had been spending so much time in the British Museum that Egyptologist Sir E.A. Wallace Budge got to know her and started teaching her how to read hieroglyphics. She really was standing on business about it. Unsurprisingly, she picked it up very quickly. Dorothy's dreams continued this whole time. Though now, she knew what was happening. She wasn't really frightened anymore. When Dorothy was about 15, she would wake up in the middle of the night, almost every night. She heard the voice of a man named Hora, who asked her to write down everything he said. And she would, and then she'd go into a trance, neither sleeping nor awake, and she'd scribble notes in hieroglyphics. When she woke up, she had no idea what she had even written, and it wasn't even in her handwriting. After a year of these dreams, she had written 70 pages of hieroglyphics. She was finally able to piece together that this was the story of her life in ancient Egypt. She was an Egyptian woman named Bentrichet, born in the town of Abydos. She came from a humble background. Her father was a soldier who served during Seti's first reign, and her mother was a vegetable seller. When Bentrichet was 2 years old, her mother died, unable to care for her. Bentrichet's father placed her in the temple of Qam el-Sultan because he couldn't take care of his own daughter, where she would be raised to become a priestess. And then, at the age of 12, she was given 2 choices. She could either leave the temple and go out on her own at 12 years old, or she could become a consecrated virgin at 12 years old and stay at the temple for the rest of her life. And she had to make this choice at 12 years old because her dad couldn't raise her. Anyway, Bentrichet decided to take the vows. A few years later, she met Pharaoh Seti I, and guess what? He wanted to bang her. So they had an affair. She was 14 years old and she became pregnant with the child of the pharaoh Seti. She had no choice but to tell the high priest about her relationship with Seti I. The high priest told her that her sin against Isis was so severe that she would be tried and likely sentenced to death. But not him, just her. And then, in order to protect the pharaoh from a scandal, she took her own life. Yep. So Dorothy finally understood everything that was happening to her in her dreams. Typical life of a woman, right? For the next few years, she worked various jobs at a theater owned by her parents, but then she got her big break in 1931. A position opened up in London writing for an Egyptian public relations magazine. The 30s were a tricky time in Egypt. Though it was officially declared independent from the United Kingdom in 1922, the UK was still heavily involved in the governing of the country. Dorothy used her new position at the magazine to advocate for Egyptian nationalism and full independence. While working for the magazine, she began corresponding with a wealthy Egyptian man named Aman Abdel Maguid. They fell in love long distance, and in 1933, Maguid proposed and she accepted and finally traveled to Egypt for the first time in her life. Well, in this life. When she stepped off the boat in Cairo, she fell to her knees and kissed the ground. She wept and said, "I'm finally home." And if Dorothy Eady really was reincarnated, now she would have a chance to prove it. Dorothy's marriage was off to a rocky start. Her husband's family was wealthy and they didn't like how open Dorothy was about her past life. She was more committed to Egyptian culture than her husband's family was, and she was very outspoken about it. And of course, after a few years, only after she had his child for him, Dorothy and Maguid got divorced, but not before she gave birth to his son, who she named Seti. Then Dorothy Eady changed her name to Seti, which means mother of Seti. This is how women in ancient Egypt were known, by their title as a mother. In 1935, she took a job with Egypt's Department of Antiquities. She was the first woman ever hired. But, that's right, the first woman ever hired. But she quickly made a name for herself as a respected scholar. She published essays and articles about ancient Egypt and translated documents and hieroglyphics. And though Dorothy Eady had no formal training, she became an expert in the field. Finally, in 1952, Dorothy was able to take a job in Abydos, the town where she believed she once lived. In Abydos, she became known as an eccentric by the locals. She observed ancient Egyptian religion. She walked barefoot everywhere, and she would spend her nights praying and sleeping in the Egyptian temples. Hi, Joanne. In 1957, the new chief of antiquities wanted to test Dorothy. He admitted that she had an uncanny understanding about the ancient Egyptian culture, but he didn't really believe that she lived in the Temple of Seti thousands of years ago. So one night, he escorted her to the temple. The only light they had was a torch. He then asked her to take him to a different part of the temple. And at this point, nothing had been published about the layout of the temple, and Dorothy had never been there before. in this life. Dorothy was able to guide him anywhere he asked her to go with no map and no light. She knew every inch of the temple, and after his 6th attempt to stump her, he gave up. One of her reoccurring dreams of past life memories was of the gardens of the Temple of Seti, but those had not yet been discovered by archaeologists. Dorothy told scientists where to find the gardens, and when they excavated there, they found them. She also said if they dug on the north side of the temple in a specific spot, they would find a hidden tunnel, and sure enough, the tunnel was there. In 1964, she turned 60 years old, and by Egyptian law, their citizens are actually forced to retire at age 60. But not only was she the first woman hired by the Department of Antiquities, but she was the first person ever given special permission to keep working past the age of 60 because her knowledge was too valuable of a resource to let go. Egyptologists couldn't explain it, but she was able to make countless discoveries just by remembering. And though her specialty was the Temple of Seti, the first in Abydos, she claimed to have knowledge of other ancient Egyptian sites. For example, she said the lost tomb of Nefertiti was underneath the tomb of her stepson Tutankhamun. Dorothy made this claim in 1972. Tutankhamun's tomb was found in 1922, and though the tomb had been studied for 50 years, there was no evidence of a chamber there. Well, guess what? In 2015, LiDAR imaging technologies show that there actually is a chamber right where she said it would be in 1972. She also said there was a small library under one of the feet of the Sphinx. And sure enough, LiDAR scans have showed that there is a small chamber right where she said it would be. About 30% of Americans, including 25% of Christians, believe in reincarnation. It might be fringe science or pseudoscience in the Western world, but in the Eastern world, reincarnation is viewed differently. It's a central part of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Sikhism, and several other religions. About a quarter of the world's population, that's 2 billion people, reincarnation is an essential belief. Reincarnation is always a subject I've been drawn to. There's a comfort in the thought that death is not the end, that our physical life is just temporary. An experience meant to teach us lessons to prepare us for our next life or to prepare us for what comes after. It's all part of the journey. And Dorothy Eady is one of the most compelling cases for reincarnation that the world has ever seen. Dorothy finally died in 1981. Never knowing that she was right about the library under the Sphinx's paw. But I can't help but wonder if there's a child out there somewhere right now, having dreams she can't explain, visions of her green garden in a far-off desert, vivid memories of a familiar oasis once again, calling her home. And that's the tale of the reincarnated Egyptian, and that is the true story of Dorothy Eady, a phenomenally brilliant woman who was also reincarnated. Thank you guys. And for those of you guys who loved those style stories, I have an entire playlist called the Unexplained series, and they're all like that. And I'm on camera. Like I talk and tell the stories. And I even, in one of them, I even make the Vulcan hand symbol. If you guys can spot it, I'm on camera and I do the Vulcan hand symbol. I really do. Anyway, that one is one of the Unexplained series in the playlist called the Unexplained series. And I'm very proud of all of those. Oh, thanks, Mama Saurus. Yeah, I'm a lot more on camera in the Unexplained series ones because I did them like in my news reporter style, kind of. So I'm like on camera a lot. Yeah, I do. I do it in my in the story about Valiant Thor. I do the Vulcan symbol. And yes, Scream Queen, thank you. Yeah, Deborah, they're on YT on a playlist called the Unexplained series. Oh, cool, Rachel. I didn't know that. Oh my God, Brooke, he likes the Unexplained series? Really? I love that he likes the Unexplained series because I feel like those are actually educational for kids. Good night, flying. Sweet dreams. All right, guys, it's grilled cheese time. Thank you, Eric, for the fireworks. And Michelle, thank you for the gate treasure and the cake. It's the reincarnated Egyptian Momosaurus, but the playlist, if you go to the Unexplained series, there aren't that many of them, so you'll find it. And half of them are about reincarnation. Side eye, that's so cute. Exactly, Matt. Kids, everybody. Yeah. Thank you, Daz, for the gate to treasure. All right, guys, it's grilled cheese time. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night. Good night, Shell. Sweet dreams. Can't wait to hear what you think. And I'm here every single night from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all these stories myself, and you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you will find me. Thank you, Melzy. And all of the links are in my bio. Yes, oh, so very ordinary. Yep. I did, Lex. Yep, I write them all. They're based on real stories. Like, I don't make them up, but I write them. Like, I tell the story, you know, like I told Dorothy's story. So yeah, I wrote that one. Yeah, there's several triangles. There's also one in New England. Oh, thanks, Lex. There's a bunch of triangles. And thank you, Mamasaurus. I appreciate it. Thanks for the love. All right, guys, grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and check out the shooting stars. And welcome to the porch. I'll be right back with the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Cape Heart, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Oh, Rachel, really? How old's the documentary? I'm just curious because I might have already seen it. Thank you, K-Part. Welcome to the porch. Grab a beanbag chair. Grab a hammock. Oh, it's this year? Oh, I haven't seen it yet then. Okay, Rachel, perfect. Oh, K-Part, well, you're in the right place. I'm here every night, and we all hang out every night, 10 p.m., whenever you want to come hang. We're starting the last story, and this is our favorite story. It just depends for me, Rachel. I do like new information, but I also watch things for escapism deliberately because the world is fucking shit. So it depends on the documentary, to be honest. I don't watch a lot of the popular ones. I just don't have a desire to channel that kind of energy. But a documentary on Amelia Earhart, hell yeah, sign me up. Lex, I'm so glad you commented. Yay! Yeah, Whitney. Oh, Rochelle. I'm so glad. I love you. I'm glad you were here tonight. I miss you. How about it, Scrolla? Oh my God, Mary, seahorses. I love them. Seahorse, see how? You have a seahorse party? Who didn't invite me? I'm so glad, Rochelle. By the way, Brooke, Justin doesn't think it's funny. I'm like, you had to be there, I guess. And Lady Rose doesn't think it's funny either. Guess you had to be there, guys. And I can't even explain why it's funny. I don't know why it's funny. It's stupid as hell. I cannot explain it, but it is. It just is. Justin said he thinks it's funnier. He thinks I'm funnier than the original video, which I guess is a compliment, but he thinks I'm funnier. My imitation's funnier than the actual video. He was expecting it to be funnier than me, and he said it wasn't, so he doesn't think it's funny. Oh, you know what? Skrilla doesn't think I'm funny, though. Oh, Rachel. I'm waiting for Rich to come out with the your mom again. Your mom. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Palace Society. This is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Thank you, Letta. Welcome in. I'm not usually the kind of person who pulls over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. It was late October, and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through, 5 hours, no stops. To understand Blizzard, one must be. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones and makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. I'd taken the wrong exit trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road, surrounded by nothing but pine trees and power lines. And that's when I saw the neon sign. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering like it hadn't worked right in years. But the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. A tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map, and get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made this sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. The air inside was warm, almost too warm, and it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. Checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths, a long counter with spinning stools, even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't worked in decades. And the people, they all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet, like they weren't expecting me. Like I'd walked in the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. A waitress, tall, with a beehive hairdo and a light blue uniform, smiled and waved me over. "You get caught in the rain, sweetheart," she said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. "Yeah, the highway's a mess." She chuckled and patted my shoulder. "Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers." I sat down at a corner booth. The vinyl creaked, and I remember the jukebox shifted songs by itself and started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. I looked around and everyone looked normal. Sort of. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard drinking coffee at the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea, like she was lost in thought. But they all had the same look in their eyes, like they were there but also somewhere else. Like they were watching me out of the corner of their eyes even when they were looking down. The waitress came back with coffee. Strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." And that was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took out my phone to check the map. No signal, and I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with a spinning wheel. I glanced out the foggy window, and the storm was still going. But now, the wind had picked up. I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. But the diner stayed perfectly lit. The food came fast, too fast, like under 5 minutes. But it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite, delicious. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners, greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks, but this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect, and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. We walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." Whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." That's all he said. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile and walked over collecting his empty mug. Old Earl, he's always saying weird stuff. Just ignore him. But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me. Not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. I checked the clock over the register. 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab the check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. But when I stood up, the lights flickered just once and then again. And then everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze mid-sentence. The woman with the tea stopped stirring, her spoon hanging in midair. The waitress, her hand reached out with a mug, just stopped. Like someone hit pause on the entire scene. I took a step back. The jukebox buzzed, glitched, and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. Not music, not a storm. A voice, not coming from anyone I could see. Just a whisper that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. I backed toward the door, my heart hammering in my chest. I turned the knob. Locked. I tried the windows, but they were sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting, but no one was outside. Just wind and rain and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE Diner. I turned back toward the dining room, and everyone was gone. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty. No plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there. Except for my plate. Still warm, and still half-eaten. And then I saw the waitress. She was standing there by the kitchen doors, her silhouette backlit by flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty, black and endless. Like someone had painted over them. "You shouldn't be here, honey," she said in that same cheerful voice. "Not yet." I stumbled back, knocking over a chair as she took one slow step toward me. The others, they were waiting, but you just wandered in. She raised a hand and the walls began to shimmer. Literally shimmer. Like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled and the red booths started to fade. Becoming outlines and then shadows and then nothing. And I saw it. Underneath the illusion. It was charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot. Like the diner had burned down long ago. I ran. I don't even remember how I got out. 1 second I was inside and the next, I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. My car was still there, pulled up with the seal missing, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. No neon sign, no glowing windows, just nothing. I drove back to campus that night in silence. Thanks, Justin. No music, no Porch Lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rearview mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. I didn't tell anyone. Not for weeks. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site, and I found it. It burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight. And everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. The photo in the article. The same checkerboard floor. The same red booths. The same neon sign. SYCAMORE. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. But every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn, that was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. And I didn't even pay for it. And that is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Thank you for making me feel so loved tonight, you guys. I did just get a tornado alert, so I need to go. My dad also texted me about it, and it's 2 in the morning. He should not be awake. So I've got to go, you guys. Thank you for all the love on my birthday. I will be here again tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get some good sleep and stay spooky.